everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central. I wanted to finally check out Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. I'm aware that this game's been out on PC since 2003 and console since 2004. It's been on my radar, but I was kind of avoiding it because the stuff I was hearing from the community and the reviewers, frankly, made it sound like it was a mixed bag. For every good thing they would say about it, for instance, great use of the license. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. Great use of the Lord of the Rings Tolkien license. You know, really authentic product. The development team, Free Range Games, went out of their way to really make it feel authentic to Lord of the Rings, not just the films, but also the books, okay? But for every good thing like that, they'd say something like this. They'd say that the combat is repetitive. The mining, the resource gathering is repetitive. That it's a little janky here and there, that there's collision detection problems, that there's gameplay glitches aplenty, and it would crash. Okay, so that's what I took to be the case. What I didn't know was that Free Range Games have been working on this thing like a bunch of diligent little dwarves in the night, tinkering away and pickaxing their way through this thing and improving it little bit by little bit, to the point that what I just played was completely surprising to me.
That's what Bilbo Baggins hates!
I mean, you know, because I really did expect it to be a mixed bag, because I was taking all that information to heart. I got this on Xbox because it was on sale. I'm like, finally, I'm going to play this game. Yes, sir. There are a lot of really good Lord of the Rings games. I know that there are a lot of really bad Lord of the Rings games. So I was prepared for anything, except that it rocked my socks. It rocked my little dwarfy socks. I actually really enjoyed this. And I mean really enjoyed this. To the point that I was dreaming about it. That is not a joke. I would literally close my eyes at night and slip into Moria and wake up in the morning and go to Moria. Every time I went to the game, I found myself kind of excited to be able to do so. It really held me, this thing, and I can only chalk it up to two things. Number one, it is a great use of the license.
And Gandalf means me.
And I'll probably talk about that a little bit later in this video. Number two, it's actually extraordinarily functional. It's been improved to the point that it's not just functional, it's real playable, guys. It's really fun. And I play it in single player because you can play up to eight players on this thing, an actual party of dwarves. And man, that sounds like a lot of fun. I didn't do that. I opted to play it by myself, and it was still a lot of fun. Here's what Free Range Games has done to this thing in the last couple of years, okay? Number one, they improved the combat. It feels more physical. It feels more impactful. Things get knocked back. The physics have been improved. They've improved building. They've added a lot more stuff that you can add onto your little dwarf hovels. They've improved the mining. They've improved the upwards trajectory, the linearity of the progression, as far as what you get when the game pays out that next huge reward when.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
And they added a sandbox mode, which, you know, it's all procedurally generated, so it's like brand new every time. They've added NPCs with this big new expansion, the Durin expansion. I haven't touched that yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But just the main game. This was great, and I've played a few survival games. I played Grounded. My wife and I played that. We liked that. That was good. I played Ark Survival Evolved, the first one. I didn't really like that one a whole lot, but it was all right. But this is my favorite survival game, and I'll go you one better. I think this is my favorite Lord of the Rings game, at least since Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, those two games. But, you know, if I'm being honest, those are great games. Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, they're great action games. They were kind of revolutionary as far as, you know, the Nemesis system and all that, so really cool stuff. This held me so much better. I literally was I'm saying, I was sort of obsessing about it. When I couldn't be there, I wanted to be there because it creates this wonderful feedback loop, and it is balanced beautifully now. If it wasn't before, and I understand it wasn't, it is now, and I can affirm that. It is balanced now. You just seem to always get the next thing to keep propelling you to the next thing. I hope that's vague enough, but every time I thought I was ready to kind of, you know, kick it in because I wasn't getting enough hints, or I wasn't getting enough of this ore or that mineral or this resource, or I couldn't figure out where to get the hammer to do the thing, all of a sudden I'd discover the next major forge and I'd get more options, and I finally understand I got to do this to do this. It laid the breadcrumb trail for me just so, and it kept me feeding the machine and getting that little dopamine, that little Lord of the Rings, that little Tolkien dopamine hit in my brain just so that I struggle putting it down. I still want to play it, man. You know, I still want to see what it has in store for me. I might even hit up my wife and see if she'll play it with me, if she'll be my companion dwarf. The thing is to talk about the license, okay? Now, Lord of the Rings is a very deep, very deep lore. You have to have a PhD to understand it fully. I understand it okay. I've read the books a few times. I've seen the movies numerous times. I am a big fan, but when it's done really, really well, it's the little things. It's the little touches. You know, the fact that every time you start mining, your dwarf wants to slip into a song. Well, that's just something that they do. The fact that they're always drinking on the job. The fact that they do just as well in the darkness. I mean, honestly, most of this game is in the dark, and that was another big complaint about it initially, that it was just too gosh darn dark. But you know, you always have to have a torch in hand, man. You always have to have the pickaxe, and then you get the stronger pickaxe. It's just a great feedback cycle combined with that exceptional use of the license. I can't tell you, man. I mean, I was really, really shocked by how much I loved Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. I think if I was gonna give it a score, I'd probably give it an 8, but I might even just give it a 9 because, again, if it was broken, it really isn't anymore. Once I finally beheld the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, I was like so overjoyed to finally be up and out of that lower deep area, out of the mines, out of all that stuff. It's rewarding. It's rewarding. That's what it is, okay? And in the story mode, it's task-oriented, those are just two things that drive me in video games. I don't know about y'all, but if I don't feel like I'm accomplishing something, at least in digital form here with my little avatar, I don't feel like I'm doing it. Like, I mean, sandboxes are okay for me, but I need to feel like I'm literally making progress. I'm literally achieving, and this just doles it out to the point where you struggle and you try and you die and you go back and you get your stuff and you do it again and again and again, and you don't want to quit because you know that if you just try a little harder, you'll make it, you'll succeed, you'll get that next piece. Or just adjust your strategy, you know, that's just as likely to occur. You know, you don't necessarily get better at this game, you just get smarter. That next axe, that next piece of armor, that next key, whatever it is. Black diamonds. Black diamonds from the orcs. You know, there's only orcs, there's only spiders, there's only wolves. I get that it still could use some work, it could use some more variety, probably a little bit more fine-tuning, if I'm being honest. There's certain things that I'm sure could be better, but I enjoyed the heck out of this, guys, and like I said, I'm willing to call it, it's one of my favorite Lord of the Rings games. It's definitely my favorite of the last 10 years. It's definitely maybe of the last 2 generations even. This is a good survival game. I won't say that it's going to be for everybody. I'm not as experienced in the genre as I am in like first-person shooters. All I know is, as a Lord of the Rings fan, and as someone who does have some experience with survival games, this did it for me, man. This was really worth the time. It was really worth the sale price, that's for sure. So that's all I got to say about Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them, and I mean ale, and I mean pipe weed. I don't know what I'm saying. It's really late. It's really late, and I gotta get to bed so I can get up and make some wild mushroom omelets and get back to pickaxing, something like that. Okay, bye-bye.